we left school. How? 1989 feels like yesterday.
Friends forever.
Friends forever.
So if you love the music from the 1980s, you're going to love this show. We're celebrating 40 years of the iconic compilation albums, and Now That's What I Call Music. And Now That's What I Call a Musical is currently out on tour, and it comes to Belfast's Grand Opera House this week. Carol Decker from Tapau is starring in the show, and she joins us now from her dressing room. How are you today?
I'm fine, thank you. Just fresh off the stage. We just did the matinee here in Cornwall. Midweek matinee. That's always interesting.
So how's the tour going so far then?
Really well. It's been wonderfully received. I started this week, so just so the listeners know, there's the run started back at the end of September, and there's a guest star in different weeks. So Sunita has done a lot of shows, Sonia has done a lot of shows, and Jay Osmond has done a lot of shows. And now it's my turn. So Truro's got me right now, and then you get me in Belfast, and then Woking, and then I'm in Oxford New Theatre in the new year. So yeah, lots to do.
So the show based on the 1980s and a show based on the Now That's What I Call Music compilation albums, China in Your Hand has got to feature in the show somewhere.
It's compulsory, absolutely. Yeah. Well, they work all the songs into the script, which is brilliant. So it's not just like random singing. The lyrics are poignant to what's happening, not just with China, but with lots of the amazing 80s hits that are peppered throughout the musical. They're actually something like the character wants to say to the other character, so it's really, they're really good.
So tell us about the storyline and the characters in the show then.
So basically, like you said, the Now albums have been, well, firstly, they were 40 years old this year. So hence the anniversary, and the reason I think they decided to mark that with writing a musical. And two young girls, they're best friends, BFFs, and forever in Birmingham. And one of them wants to go off to Hollywood, and one wants to stay and be a nurse. Completely different paths that they've chosen. And that happens, and then the years go by, and the girl who stayed behind to be the nurse is going to get married, and she's hoping her best mate who went off to LA will come back. So there's all of that, and then their lives have changed, but they haven't quite worked out in either direction the way they thought they would, or the way they meant to. And so the amazing 80s music is the soundtrack to their youth and to their life. And I've never done musical theatre before, and I am blown away by the singing and the dancing. Yeah. It's just, the cast are incredible. They really are. And the songs fit, like I just said, brilliantly into the script. So it's just joyous. And the story's lovely too. It's set in Birmingham, so everybody talks like that,
So apart from China, what other big songs are in the show?
Oh, God, now you're going to catch me on the hoof because my memory's terrible. Things like Every Breath You Take, Girls Just Want to Have Fun, Sisters Are Doing It for Themselves, Hold Me Now, Heart and Soul, of course, yeah. Another one of my songs. Loads and loads, so many I can't remember. I hate being put on the spot because my mind goes blank completely. One of my favourite bits is Relight My Fire. That's brilliant, and all the dancing the dancers are incredible. I never knew people could wrap their legs around their necks like that. It's really, in the warm-ups, it's quite fascinating.
I remember the very first Now music album that I bought. It was in 1987. It was Now 10, and I bought it because China in Your Hand was featured on it.
Oh, fantastic! Yeah. And some people who've got the first one. We spotted on eBay, somebody had Now 1 trying to sell it for 50 quid, the original vinyl.
Wow. And then on the back of that album, I went out and bought the Bridge of Spies album.
Thank you very much.
And I did something weird recently. I listened to Bridge of Spies again from the start until the finish, which is very strange because we don't do that these days with Spotify and Shuffle and things like that. But I listened to the album in its entirety from start to finish, and it still sounds great today.
Thank you very much. And I put the order of the tracks together, and I did all the crossfades with the engineer because that was really important that the one song ends and you hear it go down, the volume go down, and the cadence go down, and the next one rises up.
Yeah.
So I always used to do the running order and the crossfades for all our albums. Yeah.
So apart from this show, you're also coming back to Belfast in February. You're playing the Mandela Hall.
I'm coming with my good friend Katrina from the Waves and Hue and Cry.
Yeah.
And I've been over to Ireland, north and south, a lot over the last 18 months. It's been great.
And you also played Derry recently, and the last time we were on stage together was at the Cosmetic Medicine Awards.
Well, I know. That make me laugh, those, because obviously if you go again the next year, will you recognise anybody? Because I'm in face to face. I took a few business cards, I mean, passing of time isn't kind. They promised a discount, so you just never know. I might look completely different by the next time you see me.
So when you come back in February, are you going to be doing all the big to Pow songs then?
Of course. Yeah, of course. And I know it's not Northern Ireland, but I recently did Three Arena in Dublin as well, 80s orchestral
Brilliant.
with Nick Kershaw, which was amazing. And again, another wonderful sort of format for my music, which is doing it with big orchestra and a rock band, which is just a joy as well. So yeah, I've been over to Ireland a lot.
And what about the song that I always ask for, Whenever You Need Me? Are you going to put that one back in the show?
It is.
It is. Oh, good.
But not since the last time I saw you. Yeah, no, it is. It is. I had to kind of fall back in love with that because I went off it. You just do sometimes. You just think I'm sick of that song, and I dropped it.
Yeah.
But now we've put it back in, and it goes down really, really well because it was still a top 20 hit. So people really appreciate it.
Now, coming back to the Bridge of Spies album, am I right in thinking that China nearly didn't make it onto the album?
It didn't exist. We had our record deal around all the other songs, and then primarily Heart and Soul, which was written, and Valentine and I Will Be With You. They were the big ballads. And one song wasn't working and it wasn't growing from the demo. So, often demos, you can tell straight away it's going to be amazing. Other demos, you think there's a kernel of goodness in here, but it needs to grow from the demo. And whatever song it was, and I can't remember, it wasn't. And so Roy Thomas Baker, our producer, said, "Have you got anything else? Because we're a track down now, And Ronnie and I had literally started working on China in Your Hand in our home studio, and I had cassette with me, and it was in my handbag or even my pocket, I can't remember, and it was just the basic piano and the initial outline of the lyrics and the story of Mary Shelley writing the Book of Frankenstein, which is what it was about. And played the cassette to Roy, and he went, "That is a hit." And so that was it. And obviously the guy is a Grammy Award winning producer, but the big song that a lot of people remember him for is Bohemian Rhapsody. So the man knows how to grow a ballad. So it was amazing. And China in Your Hand was just huge. It's just huge.
And also in the last few years, you've released some new material. Is there any plans to release anything else soon?
There is. It's going to be next year. When I finished with the Now musical, I go on an arena tour with the Human League and Sophie Ellis-Bextor on the UK mainland. And we're just doing a little 30-minute opener, but it's still going to be just an amazing thing. It's the 40th anniversary tour for the Human League. They've been doing it worldwide, and we're on the UK leg. It's called Generations. And I'm super excited and flattered to be invited. But 30 minutes, we're going to give you what you know.
Yeah.
But Ronnie and I have, you're quite right, put a little handful of download singles out, which people can find up on Spotify. Be Wonderful, Guess Who's Sorry Now, Run, World on Fire. And we're just finishing another song called Miles and Miles. And then we've got ideas for lots of others, but we've decided it makes more sense to have a new album for next year. I was hoping to rush something out to be with the Human League Impact, but that's not going to work. So it'll be next year, and we'll definitely have an album. And I'm sorry, I'm so slow at albums. I kind of to be completely honest, I lose my mojo sometimes. It's so hard to sell records now.
Yeah, exactly.
I've got lots of ideas, still creative. My phone is full of half-written songs, and Ronnie and my friends and family have been persuading me to be creative just for the sake of it. And I've kind of forgotten how to do that. I'm so focused on work, earning money, that like we all are, you know. And so I've got to, yeah, I just put an album out, and hopefully people will still buy it, you know, and want to hear the new stuff. And then you get nervous. Do people want to hear the new stuff, or will they go to the toilet when you do the new song? Just come back when you're doing China in your hand, you know.
So loads to look forward to, and now That's What I Call a Musical arrives in Belfast at the Grand Opera House on the 19th of November and runs until the 23rd of November. Great to talk to you as always, and we'll see you in Belfast.
Yeah, can't wait. See y'all then. Bye.